So you're currently living in a big city, but you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, and you're just not sure if there's a lot to do here. Like, are you gonna be bored? What is there to do down here? Well, in this video, we're gonna cover all things Charlotte, North Carolina, and all the activities that there are to do, from museums to sports to breweries. You name it, we're gonna cover it right here, right now. My name is Brandy Reinschmidt. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Discover Charlotte, where we help you do just that. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure that you hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you can continue to get notified when we post new videos every week. If you're thinking about relocating to Charlotte, North Carolina, my team and I get calls, emails, and text messages every day from people that are looking to make a move, whether it's in 9 days or 90 days. So if that's you, give us a call, send us that text message. While I love making these videos, I love to help you guys relocate and find your next home here in Charlotte. So hop on a Zoom call. We'd love to connect and make your move just a little bit easier. So, as promised, let's get into it, and it starts right now. So we're gonna start with the outdoor activities here in Charlotte. And this is a long, lengthy list. And what I love about it and why this stands out amongst other cities, in my opinion, is for two reasons. Charlotte is really, really green. And I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but the second you drive around in Charlotte, I promise you, you're gonna notice it too. There's not a ton of wide open spaces. So I'm not talking cow pastures and fields. I'm saying even throughout these neighborhoods and in the center of medians, they have done a really good job preserving these really mature trees here. And it makes Charlotte a really beautiful city. So with that being said, it's also our weather here that allows for the outdoor activities to stand apart so much. So we have 12 months of perfect weather that no matter what month it's in, you can always find something to do outside. Yes, we do have winters. Yes, it does get a little chilly. And yeah, our summers do get pretty hot, but they're not unbearable. And if there are a few hot days, you know they're gonna end really shortly, and then the weather's gonna go back to being really enjoyable. So the activities that you can do, everything. So in the hot months, we've got water activities. You can go to Lake Norman or Lake Wiley. You can go fishing. You can go surfing, wakeboarding. You can go to other places like Lotta Plantation and drop your kayak in or your paddleboard in. You can go to the Catawba River and drop in, and I think it's like a 4-hour float if you go down to South Carolina. You get a tube, you drop it in, you float down the river. A van takes you up and takes you back to your car. So I think that's like a 4-hour activity. But so depending on, do you like active water sports or you just want to sit and float? You have it all here. You can do that during the summers. Aside from the lakes, we've got a ton of hiking here in the area. So you can go just outside of Charlotte in a town called Belmont for Crowder's Mountain. This is about an hour hike one way. And they have all different routes that you can take. There's several trails that they have cut out to get you to the top, so you can do it multiple times and not get bored. And the view up there is gorgeous, especially at this time of year when the leaves are starting to change. It really is pretty. You can hop on our Greenways here. So if you don't know what a Greenway is, they're essentially public trails created by the city, the Parks and Recreation, and they tie in the entire city. So they're off of the main road. Some of them, they do cross main roads at some point in time, but you can access them in neighborhoods or in certain parks or just in little designated areas throughout the city. We have over 70 miles of Greenway here. So you can literally get from one end of the city to the other end of the city. And it's really cool. It's a fun thing to do in the mornings. I know we have one not too far from our house. And no matter where you're at in Charlotte, even if you don't have a neighborhood access, I promise you there is a Greenway access point within 10 minutes of you, I promise. Go on Parks and Rec or just type in like Charlotte Greenways online and they'll pop up and you can get a full map of them. A lot of these have recently been redone too. So like they've got really good concrete throughout. They've got really pretty railings. A lot of the Greenway does follow alongside the Sugar Creek. So it's just kind of like a nice, relaxing, serene place. This is a great place for runners, people that are bicycling, rollerblading, bike riders. Really good place. It can get you from A to Z if you're not in a hurry. It's just a really enjoyable way to get out, get some exercise, and just kind of see the city. Talking about bicycling, Charlotte has got to be, I have not looked this up, but this is just in my opinion, Charlotte has got to be one of the most bicycle friendly cities there can be. Everywhere you go in Charlotte, especially in South Charlotte areas such as like Dilworth, South Park, Myers Park, Elizabeth, all of those parts in there have designated bike lanes on the road. So if you're into bicycling as like a sport or even for just a joyride, Charlotte has you covered on that. Again, you can go through these neighborhoods or hop on the Greenway. Either way, there's tons of space for you to ride your bike and feel completely safe. And it's a really big thing. You'll notice that there's a lot of activity here in Charlotte. Like if you go in South Charlotte, there's always people out running, walking, bicycling, and it's mainly due because of the weather and the accommodations of it. You know, a lot of cities have those bicycle lanes like Charlotte does. So a little bit of a safer area for you to do that in. So we've got water sports, we've got hiking, we've got the greenways, we've got biking, just parks in general. Charlotte has over 230 parks, and some of these are smaller with just like one little basketball court and a loop and a pavilion. Other ones like Freedom Park are huge parks, and they've got lakes and they've got basketball courts and pickleball courts, and you name it, they have it. The Greenway goes through a lot of these parks. Freedom Park is one of my favorites. It's gorgeous. It's always packed full of stuff. A lot of like exercise groups will go there in the mornings, on the weekends, because there's stairs and there's trails. There is a Panthers inspired, like, it is a playground for kids, but it's less like monkey bars and swings and more kind of like agility thing. So it's kind of fun because they get to do a little bit different things than just like slides and swings. So that's in Panthers colors. It's really cool. It's a gorgeous park, so I definitely recommend it. A couple of my other favorite parks are Lotta Plantation, which is up north, and Reedy Creek Park, which is also up towards the University of Charlotte area. Both gorgeous parks. They've got like lakes and water features on them. Lotta Plantation is actually a really good place to drop in your paddle boards or your kayaks if you have them. They're all free to access. They've got launch zones for you guys. So it's a really cool place to be and just get out there and spend the day outside. So that, I mean, there's probably so much more than what I'm missing. One of my favorite things, we'll kind of tie it into like the attractions here in Charlotte. We'll just kind of leeway into that. One of my favorite things here is the Whitewater Center. So this is a man-made facility, all outdoors. It was a facility made for the U.S. Olympic whitewater team to go train. And it serves daily as an attraction for not only locals, but for people to come out of town too. It truly is a one-of-a-kind thing. It has a river that they can control the rapids, like how heavy it is or how, you know, calm they want it to be. But they have rock climbing, they've got ropes courses, they have zip lining. It does back up along the Catawba River, so you can do like flat water sports like paddleboarding or kayaking. They do yoga, they do live music. During those summers, they do what's called River Fest or River Jam. They do live music Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. They do festivals. They'll do Tuck Fest. They'll do a Build Your Own Boat festival. That one's actually really funny. People will make their own rafts, essentially. It could be out of like a cardboard box or a Tupperware container. And they turn it and they go down the rapids are on low, but they turn it on and you go down the rapids. So it's a really cool place. They've got tons of local breweries are out there as well. And then they have, I think, 8 food stations. I know prior to COVID, it was about 8 different food selections. It might have changed a little bit with COVID. They might have restructured a little bit, but you can have lunch, breakfast, dinner. You can spend your whole day out there. They've got like snacks for the kids. They have a smaller rock climbing wall for the kids. So it really is not only an outdoor activity, a unique activity, but it's also family friendly. You can bring your dog out there. So it really is a cool way to spend the day. Some of the other attractions in Charlotte that people come here for are the Billy Graham Library. This is about 20 acres. Billy Graham was a pastor known in the area. If you're in the Christian community, you're really familiar with him, but they have the library, they've got the family home. So people love to kind of come and see this during Christmas time. They decorate for lights, everything, you can walk through it. Another thing about the Whitewater Center is obviously if it's like freezing, you don't want to go rafting, they turn the river area into an ice skating rink, and then they decorate the woods and stuff for the trails with Christmas lights. So they do really cool things during the holidays as well. So you got the Whitewater Center, the Billy Graham. You've got the NASCAR museum here. You've got the home of NASCAR. So you've got Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then you also have like the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Uptown Charlotte. If there's not a race going on, the NASCAR Hall of Fame is really cool for families and attractions. If you're an avid like NASCAR fan, they have the sports, the history, they've got all the really cool things there. But it's also really fun for kids because they got like these pit crews that you can go in there and, you know, how long does it take you to change a tire? I tried it, I'm terrible at it, I failed at it, but I don't know how those people do it, they're incredible. You've got the Mint Museum, which is an art museum. You also have a lot of family-friendly things here. So we talked about how the Whitewater Center is family-friendly, but then you have museums such as like Discovery Place, and they have Discovery Place is a science museum. There's multiple locations throughout the city, but they have one specifically for kids. So again, another great way to kind of get the whole family out, something different to be doing. So you've got some attractions, we've got outdoor activities. Let's go into the sports. You've got the gamut here in Charlotte. You have every team you can imagine. We've got football, which is the Carolina Panthers. We've got the Charlotte Hornets, which is basketball. We have the Checkers for hockey, the Charlotte Knights for baseball, and we recently got a Charlotte FC team for soccer. So these all play at large stadiums, Bank of America and the Charlotte Knights Stadium. Charlotte Knights Stadium is gorgeous. It has a really pretty view of Uptown Charlotte. Here at the ballpark, they do like Bark in the Park. So they have nights where you can bring your dogs, or they'll do like a Disney themed night for kids, or they have like different vendors there throughout the year. So it's really cool. They try to switch it up a bit and just make people come and really enjoy the area. But that's a really cool way to spend a weekend or even a weeknight going to any of those sporting events. I'm not gonna stay here too long. I don't know a ton about the sports. I don't have a lot to say about them. I've been to a hockey game and a baseball game and a basketball game, and I love them. They're great. That's what I can say about them. But I'm not a sports person, so I don't know a ton about them. So moving on to, let's talk nightlife and entertainment here. So you're not into sports, you're not maybe a big outdoorsy person, and you don't have kids. Like, what else is there to do, right? What's here for you? A ton. Don't worry about it. So Charlotte has a handful of entertainment districts. So we've got entertainment districts such as South End. South End right now is known for its breweries. I swear Charlotte gets a new brewery every day. I think we're giving Asheville a run for its money. If you don't know what Asheville is, it's a city about 2 hours away from us. They are known for their craft beers. It's crazy. I bet you if I Googled it, Charlotte would probably have more than Asheville right now. I'm gonna Google that. But South End is a walkable area. The light rail goes right through it. So we do have like a high-speed train that goes right through it. It goes from South Charlotte to kind of like the university area in Charlotte. South End happens to be one of those areas just south of Uptown Charlotte that has multiple stops along that way. And South End has everything. If you want just a chill, relaxing day at a brewery with the kids and the dog and whoever else you want, you can bring them. Even like breweries like OMB have designated kids section if you want it. But if you don't want that, that's fine too. There's tons of other breweries, and there's like specialty cocktail bars. Something that's really gotten pretty popular here in Charlotte lately is speakeasies. I know that this is relatively popular in a lot of cities, but I feel like I'm starting to see more and more of them pop up here in Charlotte. So really just a themed specialty bar, essentially. You can go get a cocktail. There's wine bars in the area. There's tapas restaurants in the area. There are self-pour like beer and wine places where you get like a wristband or a little card and you can just try a bunch of different things if you want. Sit, hang out. They've got live music. They have games that you can play. There are dance clubs in South End such as Vinyl or Lost and Found. Like there's a bunch of nightlife bars that you can go to, whether you want to dance, whether you want to just sit and have a dinner, or breweries are now putting on shows. The other night, I heard a brewery was doing like an aerial show. So the restaurants and the breweries here in Charlotte area do a really good job at keeping their crowd entertained and always hosting events, from trivia to yoga to apparently aerial shows to live music. Most places, I will say 9 out of 10 restaurants or bars here in Charlotte also have really nice outdoor spaces. So again, coming back to the weather, whether it's hot or cold or perfect, you've got tons of options for seating and what you want to do. So that's South End in a nutshell. Then you obviously have Uptown. Uptown has a lot of like your fine dining restaurants. It does have more of your rooftop restaurants, a little bit more of your late night scene. You might find Uptown. A walkable area. This has some really good restaurants like Fahrenheit, which is a rooftop bar. We've got the David Burke Cloud Bar, which is all rooftop. So some really cool places up there if you kind of want to get dressed up for the night. You can keep it a little bit more casual and go to other entertainment districts such as Montford. Montford is, it's a entertainment strip. It's got a little bit more of like the casual vibe to it, some Charlotte favorites. A couple are Jeff's Bucket Shop, which is actually a really fun speakeasy karaoke bar. I didn't know it was a speakeasy until recently, but it is indeed a karaoke bar that is in the basement. It will be the best people watching you will ever see. You, of course, end your night there, but you can start it off somewhere with wings at Moosehead's, which is hands down the best wings in Charlotte. It is a casual Charlotte favorite. You can go in gym shorts and a t-shirt and feel totally fine. Or you can go right next door to another top Charlotte restaurant, Good Food on Montford. Have a nicer dinner, some small tapas plates with a great cocktail. They have a kind of a social club over there, Bolero, where it's like bowling and pinball, and they've got restaurant, like a bar inside there and stuff. So you can do something like that. I mean, there's always something going on over there. You can head over to Plaza and Noda. And again, walkable entertainment districts where there's some casual bars, some nice restaurants, always live music happening. There's a couple karaoke bars. There's an arcade bar. Just really honestly, there's just options for everybody no matter where you want to go. So there's a handful of entertainment districts that you can hop on and get in front of for some good nightlife if you want. So another thing that you can do is like, Charlotte's not known as the most walkable city that there is, but there are a handful of areas like that Park Road, Montford district, Plaza, Noda, South End, Uptown. You can go into Dilworth or Elizabeth. All these neighborhoods are walkable here in Charlotte. They've all got restaurants and bars and shops, all really cool things to go do. So you could always just hop on the light rail or hop on a Greenway and go grab lunch one day up in Elizabeth and then continue your walk a little bit more to Uptown. So while Charlotte isn't the most walkable city, there are ways that you can do it and still have a really, really enjoyable weekend. So, I mean, you've got everything, guys. You've got museums, you've got outdoor activities, you've got concerts. We didn't even talk about concerts. Oh my goodness. A couple concert venues here. You've got PNC, which is like a PNC amphitheater, or PNC Pavilion, which is an outside amphitheater. A lot of country stars will come there. Luke Bryan, Morgan Wallen, I think, played at the Bank of America Stadium. So the Bank of America Stadium will get rented out for concerts during the summer. Or you've got some smaller venues such as like the Music Factory. So that's actually a really cool place. There's two places just north of Charlotte, of like the actual downtown Charlotte, Camp North End, and then the Music Factory. So they're both kind of outdoor spaces. They have a cluster of restaurants and bars in them. And the Music Factory is known for its smaller music venues like the Fillmore, where you can have like indoor concerts. A lot of event spaces are rented out there. Or they have VBGB, which is a beer garden with volleyball courts. It's really fun. They do like trivia throughout the week, or they'll do volleyball games throughout the week. So kind of something unique to go do. And then if you go to Camp North End, this is a mixed use area. It used to be an old Ford, like the main building there used to be a Ford manufacturer plant, and then it actually turned into a missile plant, which is Charlotte something missile plant. I forget what the A stands for in Camp North End, but a little bit of history there for you. But this is a really cool area. There's always live music there. You can take your, you can grab a drink and walk around with it. It's all outdoors. A handful of restaurants there, but they've got cornhole set up, and they've got like little fire pits set up throughout the area and different sitting places that you can go to. So a couple really cool just pockets of the city. I wouldn't really call them entertainment districts because you have to specifically go there for them. But really cool areas. Again, you've got concerts that come to those places and live music everywhere. So I promise you guys, I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but there is a ton to do here in the Charlotte area. So if you're reading, I know when I was looking to move to Charlotte, I would see a lot of blogs and articles that said like Charlotte's boring. And I don't think so. It might not have everything, like it might not have the highest mountains go climb or the closest beach, but just here inside the Charlotte city, you have so much to do. And then we didn't even touch base on like the day trips that you can do. We'll save that for another video, but if you wanted to get out of Charlotte for a day or even a weekend, the options are endless. You can go to like so many different spots: Asheville, Greenville, Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head, Civic, you name it. Like you're all within driving distance. So even if you wanted to get outside for a weekend trip, but specifically staying here, living in Charlotte, things to do, I promise you, you're not going to run out of things to do. So I hope this was helpful. If you know of anything that I left off the list, because I'm sure there is something I'm forgetting to mention, but if there's something I left off the list, please drop it below in the comments. I'd love to hear your favorite things to do in Charlotte. If you'd like any more information regarding these places, let me know. I'll send you my information. And again, my team and I would love to help you if you're thinking about relocating here to the Charlotte area.